Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. I'm Wes Decker. Well, Super Bowl XLIX is in the books. Over 114 million Americans watched it, 350 million advertising dollars were spent on it, and one remarkably horrendous play call decided it. Okay, whatever. It was merely the caboose to the locomotive that rolled onto the tracks 3 days earlier. I'm talking Wing Bowl XXIII, contested some 2,300 miles away from Glendale, Arizona, in Philadelphia. There, the ultimate Daniel, 125-pound Molly Schuyler, locked horns with the Goliath-esque Patrick Deep Dish Bertoletti and others to determine who could consume the most chicken wings. Oddly, Molly came in as the reigning champion, but Bertoletti, known in competitive eating circles as one of the young guns, rallied in the final 2 minutes of the 26-minute showdown to edge Schuyler 444 to 440. On average, Deep Dish downed over 17 wings per minute to capture the Wing Bowl title, which seems like prize enough, but he also picked up $10,000 and a Harley-Davidson Fat Boy for his gluttonous feat. My favorite aside to the whole event was the strict application of the rules. Former WWE superstar and best-selling author Mick Foley was disqualified for hiding wings in his fanny pack. Right there in the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's a vintage Foley cheap pop for those of you who don't know. Oh, you didn't know? Clearly, I've digressed. Right here in our studio at Antietam Cable, Williamsport boys basketball head coach Ryan Grable will join me. But first, it's the invasion of the 1A West Region Indoor Track and Field champs from Smithsburg. A couple of Leopard guys talk about going back-to-back when you come back. By the way, outside of competition, there's absolutely nothing wrong with eating wings out of a fanny pack.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Welcome back to the show, and we continue now with indoor track and field and the 1A West Region champions from Smithsburg, represented on the boys' side by Kyle Ebersole and Adam Dwyer. Welcome to the show, guys. Pleasure to have you here, and congratulations on Friday's victory. Smithsburg winning with 158 points, outdistancing second-place Brunswick by 57.5. And I know what it was all about, guys, not only getting that title, but qualifying for states, certainly. And Kyle, let me talk to you first. Trying to go back-to-back this year at states as far as team titles are concerned. Tell me a little bit about your confidence level heading into states, given what the team was able to do on Friday at Regions, and the fact that you're still a little bit on the mend, but I think the best is still yet to come for you.
Thanks for letting us talk on your show, and I'm really confident we have a lot of good people on our team this year. I think as long as we all do our best this year, we put in the work that we need, I think there can good outcomes personally and for the team.
Well, there's always a little bit of added pressure, I guess, having won the year before, but there's also that sweet taste of victory that you remember, and you want that, especially as a senior. You'd love to go out with the state title on that note. And given the fact that this team has qualified 16 guys, you feel like that'll be enough to make the run that you'll need to have at states?
I've been on 2 state-winning teams, and successfully we haven't defended the other one. So it's going to be a tough time to defend our title. But with all these people that we have, I think it's promising, but we can't make any promises.
See, the thing I love about track and field athletes is the honesty that you bring. You don't boast over the top. You're very realistic about the way things stand and the way you feel. And Adam, obviously, great day for you at Regions.
Yes.
Winning a region title there and PRing too.
Yes.
10-7 in the pole vault. How do you feel heading into states personally?
I feel like I'm definitely in a good spot right now. I definitely need to do better at it. I'm there at 11, but what I need to shoot for, what I am shooting for, is first. So I need to be up there with another guy that's having his PR is 11.6. So I have to shoot for that or even higher.
And do you feel that that's something that you can achieve, and what will it take to get you there?
I think I definitely can achieve that. I definitely have to put in the time to be at practice and work on my technique and work on everything else, on like strengthening and conditioning. And I think that would definitely help me a lot more.
Kyle, based on the experience that you've had there when you go down to the PG Sportsplex, which is a whole different animal, and with everything on the line, how do you get your mind set for that? You know, I'm assuming that there are a lot of things that you have to block out, but how do you prepare for that?
Down in PG, it's really crazy. You get there and there's already hundreds of people trying to warm up and settle down. Down at PG for hurdlers, we have a specified area where we have to warm up. And for myself, I just I throw my stuff in the bleachers, I go get my shoes checked in, and I just go do my hurdle drills. I mean, I just got to stay focused on what you have to do and then get it done.
It's a little bit different than the little village you can sort of build there at HCC at the Arc, Adam. There's no question about it. When I looked all around on Friday there, you know, Smithsburg certainly looked like the largest contingent. You couldn't miss the purple and gold. There's no question about that. But you go down there and things are just a little bit different. And one thing that I would assume that you guys learned last year is just how much every single point counts. You won that state championship by 4.5 points. How is that approached from the coach's standpoint in imparting that to each qualifier who is there in their event? Obviously, you want to do your best, but is that broken down in any way, saying, hey, I'd like to achieve this? You want to win, but realistically, you know, how do you approach that?
I believe that the coaches come to us and they're like, they say flat out that it's going to be close. You know, we're not going to put pressure on anybody unless we absolutely need to. And he says that we have the space sometimes mess up, but if we don't, some other people are going to pull sometimes. In states, anything can happen. So definitely that helps us as a athlete to know that, and makes it a little bit easier on us.
And there was a mishap in the 4x2 relay with your guys. You were going to run the anchor leg. Never really quite got to you. There was a disqualification there, so you didn't get your team through for that particular event. How much does that hurt going to states, just the fact that you won't have a team in that event?
I think that does hurt us a little bit, but I don't think it has hurt us as much as we think it does. Because I think we can make that up with other people that we have in other events, and because we have so many people, that also has an advantage to us. So.
Kyle, how does it help you? I mean, this year, Nate Craig obviously is one of the big guys that you'll be looking to for points, and Micah Daniel, two guys who won 2 titles respectively at Regions. Last year, the injury to Caleb Cardone really got you guys to rally around. What can you glean from that experience last year that will help you this year in case something goes wrong?
I think since we have 2 of these guys who will be big hitters in points, possibly. Even if one gets hurt, we have the other one who can try to push him more. But we still know from our experiences last year that just doing your best and pushing through it's only going to do good for the team, and everyone's going to try their best.
Well, congratulations to both of you on the region championships, and best of luck coming up at states. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be back right after this. The Smithsburg girls representation from the region championship meet. Here to join me in just a moment when you come back.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer, and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
Welcome back to the show. We continue now with more of the Smithsburg contingent from the 1A West region champions. A couple of the victorious girls are here, Gabby Reason and Kate Fauntleroy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So glad to have you here. Let me begin with you, Gabby. A nice win for Smithsburg to get the region title. I know that's sort of checking one of those things off the list for the season. For you, you win the 55-meter dash. What else is new there? A lot of people say. But, you know, really, when you're a defending state champion, how much pressure is there on you to stay at that level?
It's a lot of pressure knowing that you have people over your shoulder that are wanting to beat you. But for me, it has me strive to keep going and not let myself down or let other people down and just keep going, keep running.
Well, you were certainly a big part of the big day that Smithsburg had, also winning the 300 there. Where do you feel you are with the 300 right now?
I'm sort of trying to find my stride. Like, I know what I can do. I'm just trying to find myself in that race, but I got this.
I love the confidence. Still a work in progress,
Yeah,
but
work in progress.
knows that things will work out in the end for you.
Right.
For Smithsburg on the day, 167 points, which is a pretty good total. 26 better than second place Manchester Valley. Manchester Valley second last year at states, Kate. So a big win, I think, in terms of, you know, outdistancing them in the long run. For you on the day, you qualify in the high jump. The high jump this season, I've seen you at several meets. It seems like it's been a little bit of a struggle this year. Can you put that into words?
It's definitely been a struggle this year. Like last year, I came out like not expecting to do like anything because it was my first time ever doing high jump, and then winning the region title last year was crazy.
Yeah.
Like my coach is like, wow, didn't even think you could spell high jump. And then to win, I was like, wow. But like, it just wasn't like what I expected to come out this year and do. Like, I did what I could, but I PR'd at regions, which is good. And
do you feel like there's anything that's been holding you back, something that you need to work on within your technique that can kind of get you over the hump?
Just to like practice more. I just need to practice on like jumping up more, and my form just needs a little bit more practice, but do what I can.
Yeah, well, you're talking to a guy who can barely get over the extension cords on the floor here, so, you know, I won't be providing any advice, I guess is what I'm saying. As far as the team as a whole, though, what's your confidence level going to states? Because it seemed like, it didn't seem like, it was true that in every single event you had at least somebody qualify. So how does that bode in terms of the team approach to states?
That's awesome. Like, just us, like, being like the underdogs, it helps us because we don't have as much pressure as like somebody who keeps winning. Like, we can, if we do win, it's like such a big accomplishment. But like, if we were like always winning, and like it would just have so much more pressure on us. But it's just awesome that we got to have somebody in there for every single event.
Yeah, it really is. And Gabby, I see both of you wearing your soccer jackets, and I know how close you got in soccer to winning a state title. Does that motivate you even more now in indoor track and field?
Yes, it really does. Like, coming from soccer to track, Caitlin and I both always had this thought, what are we willing to do? And that's what we're trying to say to our team. What are we willing to do to become state champions? We became region champions. We can do anything.
And I think when, Kate, you talk about last year, you sort of came out of nowhere in the high jump with what you were able to do. Haley Hartney winning the 55-meter hurdles, pretty special for her to be able to win that. I know that has to give her a lot of confidence going forward, but you know, what was the reaction to seeing her win that event? Because you talk about somebody being an underdog.
Yeah.
She was a pretty big underdog in that particular event.
It was awesome. We just all are there to support each other, and to see each other win stuff is just so encouraging, and we're just like such a close team. and it's great.
Yeah, very refreshing at the end of the meet when you go up there and you get that plaque, Gabby, and the seniors certainly are the first to have the opportunity to get their hands on that. But as far as the team is concerned, and as Kate said, you know, what has helped to galvanize this team? Because you have seniors, which each of you are, but then you have like a sophomore in Mallory Moholt, and then you have some other kids who are sort of filling in and they know what their roles are. But tell me a little bit about why this team has been so special.
We all don't necessarily talk to each other all the time, but when we're at a track meet, we always are there to encourage each other, talk to each other, like, hey, you can do this. It's that encouragement that we give one another, and Smithsburg does that very well.
Has there been any difference this year with the fact that TJ Hood is now the head coach and Ray Shriver is, you know, still the old cheerleader that he's always been? But is there any difference with that? Have you sensed anything for better or worse at all?
We really haven't. There has been nothing.
And that's probably best because obviously, you know, the success has been there, the foundation has been laid. And I just think, you know, going forward here, you know, what can you do in the 55 that you haven't done already? Do you ever think about that? You know, I mean, is there a certain number that you're striving for? I mean, what's your thought process on that?
Winning the 55 often, for me, isn't necessarily good. Like, I win the race, but I'm not happy with my performance. Like, I'm striving just to get better every time. And when I see a decrease, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm just ashamed. I'm like, okay, I just need to get better.
So very, very much your biggest critic for sure, and
definitely.
Always pushing yourself. And Kate, what's it like being part of a relay team with Gabby? I mean, how much fun is it running some of those relays?
It's awesome. I love just watching her like take off and it's like passing people, and like just being with her is awesome. Like, we have such a good connection with each other, and I just love watching Gabby run. It always, like, I'm always her biggest fan, sitting there cheering her on with her mom.
Well, what do you expect? Can't separate two girls who share the same birthday. I mean, you just can't do that.
We're one the same.
But yeah, best of luck going forward, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be back right after this with Williamsport boys head basketball coach Ryan Grable in just a moment.
Since 1963, you've been trusting the folks at Hagerstown Floors. It's still a family-owned and operated business featuring a variety of high-quality flooring choices for your home, like carpet, ceramic, hardwood, vinyl, and we offer floor sanding and refinishing for your existing hardwoods. And you'll find us stocked warehouse, full of flooring options for do-it-yourselfers, or take advantage of our in-house installers for expert installation. Hagerstown Floors on Virginia Avenue in Hagerstown, the trusted name in flooring since 1963.
If there's one thing my dad taught me, when life doesn't go exactly how you plan, keep it simple. Sometimes a few curveballs are thrown your way. With one visit to Bank of Charlestown, they helped me map out a strategy to start the next chapter of my life. Even though I work with my hands, I still work with people. That's what BCT does best. They're my trusted advisor for all the details and whatever comes next.
From home improvement loans and mortgages to business lines of credit, find out what a partnership with BCT can do for you. BCT, we simplify your financial life. Now in Hagerstown.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. We continue now with basketball, in particular boys basketball and Williamsport Wildcat basketball. Joining me is head coach Ryan Grable. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you're having a great year to this point, and I'm not sure that a lot of people would have forecast that based on everything that you lost last year. 60% of your starting lineup, 3 guys who accounted for 37 points per game on average. So what's the secret to the success at Williamsport this season?
Well, I think we've built a solid program. We've implemented things like solid weight room, conditioning program. We've established things well with our middle school program, and our guys know the expectations. You don't miss things, you know, in the off season as long as you're able to be there. So I think, you know, the ship just keeps on rolling. Everybody knows what we expect of them, and guys have truly bought in this year.
Well, I think you deserve a lot of the credit, and I'm sure you'll try to deflect some of that. But 13-2 record right now, 8-1 in the Antietam Conference as this week begins, and this is a big week for your team so far as that's concerned. But again, with everything that you lost and a very young roster, tell me about how you sort of imparted to the players what their roles would be this year in order to be successful.
Well, everybody knows about Michael Riley coming back. He was kind of the foundation. He's 2 years varsity experience, 13 points a game last year, and this year he's averaging 22 a game. We kind of build off him. He's a hard worker, so kids kind of follow his lead. Then we wanted to really lean on Zach Barr and Michael Kelball, who have varsity experience, and just build from there. Come in, lunch pail every day with your mentality of we're going to work, we're going to get better, control what we can control, and that's just playing as hard as we possibly can. And we have a lot of younger guys on our team, so they fed off what our older guys have been able to do. So I'm very pleased with that.
Who's impressed you in what they've been able to do this season in improving game by game?
I think Michael Kelball has made a tremendous leap from a scoring point guard to understanding the full roles of what a point guard is supposed to do. Finding people, getting them involved, getting to the free throw line. Zach Barr as well. Last year he kind of come on midway through the year. For a 5'11" post player, he rebounds and battles every night. I mean, last year he gave it his all against Martin Gibbon, who's now at Notre Dame. So, and then Marquel Nelson is a sophomore, I think has been our glue defensively this year. Not worried about his stats, comes in, rebounds, guards everybody's best player. I think everybody's just kind of fed off those guys.
Did you have any idea that your team would be able to score as many points as they've been scoring? I mean, number one in the county right now, averaging nearly 66 points per game.
No. I thought we'd have to beat teams in the 40s. A lot of that has been Michael scored a good bit so far, and I think our best offense at times this year has been out in transition. We've also shot a lot of free throws some games, so I think that's got us up in the 50s and 60s, and we've guarded well. Last 3 games we've held teams into the 30 points. So pretty tickled with that. We'll win however we can. If we got to score a lot or score a little, guard everybody every night, we'll take it.
Yeah, every win's a good win,
Absolutely.
Regardless of how you get there. But obviously, you want to be fundamental about it as much as possible. 4 regular season games remaining after this week, and some big challenges along the way. But before we get there, all of those games very important, especially within the region, the way things are done now with the seeding, because every win counts, every loss counts against you ostensibly. You get an opportunity this week with North Hagerstown on Tuesday, which is the day that we're taping this show, and then South Hagerstown coming up on Friday, a chance to avenge an earlier season loss. Do you weight that any more severely given the fact that you lost to them first time?
Well, I don't. Every game matters, but kids are kids. You know, they're looking forward to this week. Anytime you play North and South, they get a little extra motivation. The way we're looking at it is we're battling for a #1 seed in our region, and we're trying to win an NVAL title. So every game matters. You can't take anybody lightly. We're not that good. We've had a good approach this year where 32 minutes every night, 10 guys giving it their all, practice as hard as you can every day. Because we're not that good where we can just walk on the floor. I think last year at times we could do that, but the guys have truly bought into, every player, every play, can't overlook anybody, and if we don't come out and play well, we know we can get beaten. That's happened this year.
What makes the light go on for a kid and understanding when you say to them, I need 32 minutes of consistent, solid basketball from you?
Well, I think when they come out in the first quarter and we don't play well, or if I have to burn a timeout, Catoctin the other night, we're down 7-0. After 40 seconds, so I got to burn a 30-second timeout. Kids are kids, Sometimes you got to jump into them, sometimes you got to be their buddy, but if you're constantly enforcing that and then they see the end result of 32 quality minutes and getting better practice habits and things like that, then they can buy in after they see the results.
I know you mentioned the program that's been established at Williamsport, and I think the records over the years certainly, play out to that. But you being in your second season there, certainly not that you were unfamiliar with Williamsport, but stepping in season number 2, how pleased have you been with the way that the kids have responded to you?
Just thrilled. I knew a lot of these kids coming in just from past experience, but I have a quality JV coach in Brian Carroll and a great freshman coach in Kevin Smoot, tremendous assistants. And one thing I really wanted to do was get involved with our middle school. Our program's 6th through 12, not 11th and 12th. So I came in, really wanted to get everybody on the same page, and our whole program in total has bought in, and we've seen some success. And I think everybody's hungry, and now at the 2A level, we've won at the 1A level. It's been a struggle at 2A getting by your Oakdales and teams like that. That's the next challenge, and we got to really up our game, and we're not there yet, but that's really what we're striving for. And these kids can all be part of something special because the program does have a tremendous history.
Well, Coach, great start to this season so far. I say start because obviously there's a second season that
Yes.
you'll be looking forward to. Best of luck the rest of the way, and thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
I'll be back right after this. I've got a little more basketball, some indoor track and field, and wrestling before we're through in just a moment.
How to get great movies on TV. Sit down. Aim remote. Press. Now watch hit movies anytime you want with Movies on Demand.
People keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Just use your remote to choose from hundreds of titles. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Movies on Demand. Don't just do something. Sit there.
Welcome back to the show. Time for a little heat check here in this first ice-cold week of February. While we just documented how well Williamsport has fared, one of only 2 teams to beat the Cats has been leaving a green vapor trail behind it on its way to 13 straight wins. Coach Kevin Naylor's South Hagerstown Rebels haven't tasted defeat since December 12th. Following Tuesday night's 64-49 triumph over Boonesboro, South has run its record to 14-2 overall and a perfect 9-0 in the Antietam Conference, where the Rebels hold a 1-game lead over second-place Williamsport, whom they'll host on Friday. Heritage Academy's boys still have one outing separating them from next Tuesday's rather significant showdown with Broad Fording. While both teams are on a collision course to knock the other off the MDCC title trail, Heritage has now notched 8 victories in succession. The 5th win in the Eagles streak, 49-46 at home over the Lions back on January 15th. As for girls hoops, Williamsport is now 1 W away from matching last season's win total with 5 regular season games remaining. The Wildcats are 14-3, have already captured the conference title at 10-0 there, and have come out on top in 13 of the last 14 trips to the hardwood. However, they did suffer a potential blow to their role when junior Sydney Hawkinsmith left last Friday's game against Catoctin with a severe ankle sprain. Boonesboro's played its last 9 games without injured senior Kayla Green, but Coach Sam Connolly's Warriors have found a way to keep winning nonetheless. With the exception of their loss a week ago Monday to Williamsport, Boonesboro has prevailed in 8 of its last 9. Despite a pair of defeats to the Cats, the Warriors are still on track for a better region seed by virtue of fewer losses that count against it. On the wrestling scene, will the real undefeated county team please stand up? Once the ruling on Clerical Gate comes down from the MPSSAA, likely to be on Friday, the team itself will know exactly who it is. As the week started, it was officially Williamsport. The Wildcats prevailed twice last week, including a walkover against the shorthanded Smithsburg team on Wednesday. And no, your eyes don't deceive you. That's Savon Brown, the Inside Sports Offensive Football Player of the Year, seeing his first high school mat action and making it a successful venture. While the Wildcats lineup has been riddled with injuries this season, Coach Mike Rektorovic's guys have barely let them bother them. 6 Williamsport wrestlers own at least 20 victories, with 5 ranked in the top 6 in the state in their respective weight classes. They were poised to get a test on Wednesday, video coming next week, in a public versus private school intra-county match at St. James. The Saints were fresh off capturing the IPSL championship the previous Wednesday. So while Williamsport started the week 20-0, North Hagerstown began at 17-8 and eagerly anticipated the aforementioned decision from the state that could restore a 0 back to the Hubs loss column and put a 1 back in Williamsport's. North wrestled like it didn't have a worry in the world last week, going 3-0 along the way. The Hubs now boast 10 wrestlers in the 20-plus win club and 7 ranked in the top 6 in their respective weight classes statewide. The big dual meets are just ahead. The regions will be contested next Wednesday, followed by the state dual meet tournament on Valentine's Day at North Point High School. On the ice, things get serious for the Washington County North Stars, who open their quest to play in a 5th straight state title game a week from next Wednesday. The North Stars will need to conjure up some of their old magic in order to get there. They open with Frederick County, a team that beat them twice during the regular season by a combined score of 15-2. Meantime, indoor track and field athletes from North and South Hagerstown took their shots at qualifying for states at the 3A West Region meet on Thursday at the Baltimore Armory. Those from Boonesboro and Williamsport stand ready to do the same at the 2A West Region Championship Saturday afternoon at HCC. I'll show and tell you how they fared next week. And finally, while I appreciate Punxsutawney Phil's prognostication skills, as much as the next guy. Can we really trust a groundhog? Allow me to submit you something from a far more reliable source. I saw my shadow on Monday. Consequently, you can look forward to 6 more weeks of the winter season on Inside Sports. That you can most definitely count on. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Inside.
Hey, your sisters and your brothers, your haters and your lovers.